Esoterica, the podcast.
Welcome to Esoterica, the podcast, where we discuss the obscure, offbeat, and unusual. I'm Chris Schultz.
And I'm Aaron Christian.
Today's episode is brought to us by Camp Crystal Lake, located in the Forest Green of Wessex County, New Jersey. Camp Crystal Lake, founded in 1935 by the Christie family. Come for the fun and stay forever.
The Forest Green of Endor.
The Wookiee lives on Kashyyyk.
What about the attack on the Wookiees? All right, we need to stop doing this.
So we want to start tonight doing something that we haven't done in a while, which is sampling a beverage.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
This is a submission from one of our users, actually.
Nobody uses us.
Oh, dear God. I just slipped into Tron mode. One of our listeners. This is, and since we are ourselves at Camp Crystal Lake this weekend and we can't enjoy an adult beverage, this is a sparkling hop tea. So what's cool about this, and I've never seen these before, it's a tea brewed like a craft beer. If you enjoy fresh hoppy IPAs, you will love this intense hop flavor and aroma complemented with just the right amount of bitterness. It's from the good folks at Hoplark. This is sparkling hop tea, the really hoppy one, made with black tea. So we're going to break into this. I'm going to step off mic there for a minute to pop this.
I just want to make a point to say we're going to need to move our mic setup, bud.
Yeah, I had a feeling. Because I can't, I'm sure you can hear me. I'm off mic.
Yeah.
I can't look at you. Look at your beautiful face.
I can't look at you and do this.
All right, filler, man. Give me some filler.
My internet connection was interrupted.
Oh, okay.
Now I have no internet. I'm going to play the dinosaur game while we let this load. You know, have you guys played the dinosaur game on
the Googles?
Yeah. Oh, see now Lynx's guest access just came in, so I need to log back in. Some weird stuff's going on at camp, man. So I'm telling you. So this is
right.
tea.
So this is...
it does not look like tea. Does it?
Can you smell it? It's got a fruity bouquet.
Oh my gosh, that smells like an IPA.
Yeah.
This isn't alcoholic.
It's non-alcoholic.
So why are we doing this?
Just,
I know.
Let's give it a shot. Cheers.
Oh. I don't know how I feel about that. It's not necessarily bad. One, it's not black.
No.
Okay, all right, I got it. It starts off like an IPA and then finishes like tea.
It does. Chip did tell me that it's an acquired taste. It's not as heavy as I would expect it. It's almost like seltzer water to begin with.
That's interesting.
It's complex and interesting. There's a lot going on there. I believe I like it. Ooh.
I lost the no internet game.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, this isn't bad. This is an interesting one for sure. That's all I got to say. Yeah.
All right. On to our album.
We don't do segments like that anymore. We just talk. We just keep going.
Yeah, right. I know. Okay, so it's been a while. We're off our game today, and we'll move our setup after I do this.
We just saw the space station like fly by.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
So that might be part of why we're so thrown off.
Still waiting for my laundry to dry. So tonight, we're revisiting the French.
Oh. We are known to pronounce the French names properly.
We are known to pronounce them properly? Okay.
We are.
Okay.
We are. I don't make mistakes.
So tonight we're listening to French artist Gautier Serre.
Just say his stage name at this point.
Better known by his stage name Igorrr. And I put a trill I can't trill my R's, but it's Igorrr. Which, interestingly enough, he got that name from his guinea pig.
They don't talk.
No, but his guinea pig's name was Igorrr. Sort of like
So
Indiana.
he didn't get the name from the guinea pig. He named it that, and then was like, I should use that.
Yeah, well, kind of like Indiana Jones. It's the dog's name.
Indiana Jones was the dog's name?
Indiana was the dog's name. Yeah.
Oh.
Henry Jones Jr. is Indiana Jones.
Thank you.
Yeah. Were you not aware of
I
that?
know, I've seen the movie.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought you had.
Raiders of the Lost Ark is just basically a movie where there's like no content added to the plot. The same thing happens by the end of the movie.
Conversation again.
Yo, literally, nothing happens in that movie. Nothing happens that adds value.
He reconciles his relationship with Marion Raven.
The Nazis still get the Ark of the Covenant. Like in Raiders of the Lost Ark, nothing.
That was the B story. Anyway,
I don't even want to do this episode anymore.
Igorrr is a French musician, and he combines a variety of genres, including black metal, Baroque music, breakcore, and trip hop. So he's really kind of hard to label. It's a very unique sound. As you mentioned, reading, there's no samples going on here. So we're checking out his... What year is this album?
2017, I believe.
2017 album, Savage Sinusoid. It's his third studio album, released on Metal Blade Records. Well, it's not his third album. It's his third released under his alias, Igorrr. There's been several iterations of bands and solo work that he's done. So there's no samples. Travis Ryan from the band Cattle Decapitation guests on 3 tracks.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a name.
That escalated quickly.
It did.
And Serre has cited Taraf, some French band, Cannibal Corpse, and Aphex Twin as inspirations for the album. So if you're a fan of the band that I'm not going to name, Cannibal Corpse and Aphex Twin, you kind of get a feel for where we're going. But we're just going to dive right in with the first track, Meat. So here's Meat. So I get this thing a lot of time. I don't know, maybe it's me or I suffer from Lucas brain, but when people are saying like, music is hard, like this is really metal, I always expect it to be harder than it is. That song satisfied my urge for like hard music.
Did it?
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, that was dope. I enjoyed that. So on Spotify, you can like follow people and like at the same time, when you're on your laptop, you can see what other people are listening to at the same time. Mm-hmm. So I'm looking through and people are listening to like The Fray and country, modern baseball, which you've listened to the show tons. That's what people are listening to. And from time to time, I'll look on there and I'll click on some of those songs and I'll check out a band and think if it's cool or something.
Yep.
I hope somebody does that for this. So somebody looks at Meat and they go, oh. So that's all. I hope there's somebody looking at what I'm listening to. I hope Big Brother's watching a little bit.
Happens into this and goes, whoa.
Yeah, they're like, why? They just like change their opinion about me.
Nice.
I hope.
Yeah, it's funny. And, starting off with that guttural scream, you kind of think like this is probably going to be abrasive and I'm not going to get into this, but
I kind of wish that the whole track was just the scream and then the rest of that was another track.
I'd be done with that. I'd buy that record.
Yeah, because then it would be like if you ever did like an open mic, not an open mic, like a karaoke night.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah.
It'd be an awesome song to do.
Actually, this would be a cool song to do because there's no lyrics. It's just yelling. Yeah, you know what my favorite karaoke song is?
What's that?
Tequila.
That's a good one.
There's 3 words.
Yeah.
And they're the same pitch.
That's pretty easy. I will say, I'm a fan of shitting on Genius, that whoever transcribed this song, they did a good job with the la la la's. Like they actually captured what he was doing with the la's. la 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 la. You know, they get their right number and stuff. So they did a good job.
Good.
And I don't imagine that was easy. So, way to go.
I think we should go to the next track now.
Yeah. What is the next track?
God.
Have you ever seen the Key and Peele skit where they're listening to dubstep? I think Jordan's moving out of the apartment and he puts on some dub.
Yeah, what happens?
He starts ripping his teeth out and he jumps out the window.
Oh my God, it's been a while since I've seen that skit, so
Yeah.
I have seen that one.
Like every time the bass drops, they start like smashing stuff. and hurting each
Okay,
other.
yeah. I don't even want to try and like break down what's going on lyrically unless you have more information than I, because I can't do it.
Well, so the track is God, and if I'm guessing by the sound of his voice, that the dude's in some pain. On Genius, they have lyrics, but it's not French. It is in some foreign language. So I don't know what they're...
All right, so this is not a lyrics episode. That's
No.
just the fact of it. So look at the cover of this album real quick. Can you see it? Are you looking at it?
I can pull it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just do that real quick, because I'm gonna just throw something at you, and the heat came on. I just want to throw something at you, and I want to know what you think about this. So you looking at it?
I'm looking at it.
Take a good look at it.
Okay.
Human knot.
Yeah. Like to the extreme.
Yeah, that's like when we do the human knot, but we can't get out of it.
Yeah. You just keep doubling down, then you get there.
Yeah.
It's not a good place to be.
It's when everyone decides to be a leader. 'Cause that's a lead team building one, right?
Yeah. Wow. There's a video for this song too that's worth checking out. It's a little disturbing.
FYI, Genius is missing lyrics for like half of these songs.
I know. The lyrics for this song have yet to be transcribed, and I believe a number of these songs are instrumentals.
Perfect. I like those.
Open to interpretation. So this next song is called Hummus.
Hummus.
Meet God Hummus. You know, I really appreciate the fact that I have no friggin' idea what's coming next with each track. Wow. And it ended with like a insane Mario Brothers game.
So there's two different songs from pretty mainstream sources that I thought of. The like guitar stuff, there's a lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
There was some acoustic section that made me think of this like salsa kind of thing. I showed you the song the other day. It was Bulls in the Bronx by Pierce the Veil.
Oh, yes.
So it just like comes out of nowhere. The other song, that Mario Kart kind of thing, is there's a song called Game Over by Falling in Reverse, and that's like a central theme in the song because it's all about, it's just like you're in a game and you just keep spawning over and over into the same thing.
Yeah.
So these aren't samples, but it's real music.
So I was taking a look at it, some of the critical reception of this album, and Metal Injection named it Batshit Crazy Album of the Year.
Okay.
It mentioned that it exists in a world where borders between genres are non-existent and anything is possible. That's actually from Metal Hammer, which is a different publication, but I kind of get that. There doesn't seem, like most music is genre specific, but we're 3 tracks into this, and we've heard
no
dubstep, baroque.
This guy was in the studio and went, yeah, okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah, whatever I want to do.
Yeah. Hey, when I recorded my record, somebody was telling me that Justin Arena, who we've had on the show before, went into the corner of the room, had them set microphones up, and he laid down on a couch and just yelled. They laid onto the couch and just yelled. My apologies. Yeah.
Cool.
People just go into studios and they're just like, hey, why don't we just try this?
Let's do our thing. See how it works. All right, let's check out the next track. Opus Brain. Damn.
This is where I would say there's a lot to unpack here, but there every time we would be saying that, so I don't want even to go there.
Yeah, and it's like with the God song. I'm kind of curious as to if there's lyrics in there or what the meaning is, but at the same time, I think I'm enjoying the emotional resonance of the song.
Yeah,
resonance.
I heard that. I just ignore you now.
I want to mention, too, I should have mentioned this at the beginning. So this is an episode today that's all about our listeners. We did a beverage review, which we haven't done in a while, one that was given to me by one of our listeners. And this album suggestion was also from one of our longtime listeners. Mr. Williams suggested this album to me. So for folks that are out there listening, we listen to you. So just wanted to throw that out there.
We do. We love your suggestions.
Usually it's either Aaron and I sharing one of the albums that we like with each other. And
it would make this show a lot more fun if you threw suggestions at us. And speaking of that, I'm just going to do a quick plug. I know it's the middle of the episode, but let's just do it anyway. We do have a subreddit. And the other day, I posted in another subreddit about something, and I was getting tons of suggestions for different bands to check out, which will probably be a season 4 thing when we start playing that out. I'll probably throw some of those in there. So if you have suggestions, go to our Reddit page. We can pin. Is there a way to pin posts on Reddit? Is that a thing?
We can at least link to it.
Yeah. No. What I think we should do is we should pin a post up to the top there.
Oh yes.
If anybody's got suggestions, you can just pop them in that comment in that thread. So we will do that. So if you have suggestions, go to Reddit. What is it?
It's Esoteric of the Podcast.
Yeah, just go there and just pop them up there. We love suggestions.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I went on my weird plug in the middle of the episode.
All right. I feel a burp coming, so let's go
into... The next episode is a motion problem.
The next episode?
Yep.
Okay.
Track. All right, let's go.
It's interesting. It was a slower, more contemplative track, but it was still unsettling.
Yeah, there was definitely an emotional level you could feel with that track.
Emotional problems.
Did I say emotion problem? I was very literal with my translation.
Translation. Problème d'émotion.
We are known to correctly pronounce the French.
That's right. The next title is very difficult to pronounce. It's Spaghetti Forivar, right? Am I getting that right?
Yeah, that's how I would say it.
Yeah. But I'm told it's pronounced spaghetti forever.
You sure?
That's what they say.
Spaghetti? Spaghetti?
Spaghetti.
Do you pronounce the T's? Spaghetti?
Spaghetti?
I don't know. I don't get those words.
Forver.
What about 5 ever? Spaghetti forever.
And now, time to pay our bills. Hey, Aaron, have you heard about Anchor?
No, I haven't.
It's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain.
Is it free?
As a matter of fact, it is free. It costs you no money. It comes with creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast. Get this, right from your phone or computer.
You know, I've been looking for a place that I could distribute my podcast so it could be heard on like Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Is that something that Anchor does?
Well, baby, you found it. Anchor does do that. Even better, you can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership.
You know, to me, it sounds like it's everything you need to make a podcast in one place.
It is indeed. If you're listening and you've ever wanted to make a podcast, you should download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm and get started.
I'll get right on that.
We did. Esotericofthepodcast.com. This is quickly becoming one of my new favorite albums.
Of course it is.
Now, so here's the thing. You know, I talk a lot about albums that are truckworthy. No, it's probably not a good idea to be driving, listening to this. But if I ever get off my ass and get back to the gym, this is a good album to be on the elliptical with, for sure.
Sorry, I yawned. Like I said earlier, it would only be car worthy if you had unsuspecting passengers.
Oh, hell yes.
Yeah. Like, hey, you know, my friends and I like to go back and forth and like put on different tracks. Like, hey, put on Meat by Igorrr. Like, oh, is that death? Yeah, it's yeah.
Well, John, who recommended this album, can tell you. I was telling a story about one time I was driving to work, and I was on the off ramp in Charlestown, and I had been listening to The Residents. It was actually their demo album, and for the longest time they denied it was actually them, but it was, and it's definitely difficult to listen to. So it was a summer day. I had it on full blast. I had the windows down, and we're stuck in traffic, and the guy next to me sitting there, and all of a sudden he turns around and he goes, "Why?" I was like, that made my day. I was like psyched for like a week after that. It was pretty cool.
That's awesome. I love when I talk to people about The Residents. Most people are like, are those the ones with the eyeballs? And I'm like, yep.
That's them?
That is them. Thank you, Homer, for being on the show.
This next song, do we have a translation of it?
Horse.
All right.
Nay. Or what's that track that when we did the Land of the Loops? Dude, I'm loving that horse neigh.
I did like that horse neigh.
And then again in season 3, episode 2, when we had the Greg. Is that a horse whinny I hear with a violin?
Yeah.
So we have a
horse theme.
We have a horse theme. And I don't mean the basketball game. I have to say I was slightly disappointed with this track. Only because I was hoping that it was going to change time signature at some point, but it stayed straight 3/4 polka rhythm the entire time, which didn't necessarily make it bad. I just was hoping he'd be a little more creative and go from the papa into like 4/4 or maybe even 5/4. There's something fun. I don't know.
As we were getting ready to go into this, I just highlighted the lyrics, which are, I don't know what language that is, and I popped it into Google and I found a translation, but it was more confusing, so I'm not going with that. I heard the bass come in every now and then.
Slap at the bass.
Yeah, they weren't actually slapping, but you know.
Well, they were at one point. But did you know that the Seinfeld theme song was written on a keyboard and it was played on a keyboard?
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's not a bass.
Oh, that actually doesn't surprise me. A synthesizer.
Yeah, yeah. I can play that on bass though, not to toot my own horn here, but toot.
I want to share a personal story since this song is called Horse. You know the childhood rhyme Trot Trot to Boston.
Mm-hmm.
When I was a little kid, if I had to go to the bathroom, I would say I have to go to Boston. And this all stemmed from my father, who has a way with words. If you had diarrhea, he'd say you had the trots. So I trot to Boston. So I thought the bathroom was called Boston. And, of course, adults thought it was funny that little Chris would say, I have to go to Boston every time I had to pee or poop.
That's awesome. Yeah. I really enjoyed that.
Trot to Boston.
Trot to the toilet.
Now, so I wonder, just out of curiosity, I mean, are you familiar with Trot to Boston?
Mildly familiar.
Trot to Boston, trot to Lynn. Don't trot to Aaron's house, you might fall in. I wonder if that's a regional thing, because most people in the United States would understand trot to Boston, but trot to Lynn?
Yeah.
City of Sin? Like,
Never go out the way you came in.
What I like about trot, you're doing it with the kids. So you have a kid on your lap, and you're bouncing them on your knee.
Right.
And then when you say you might fall in, you open your legs and they kind of fall down. You catch them, and it's exciting as a kid because you're little. I liked about doing that with my kids when they're little is you do the whole trot to Boston. And you might fall in, and it's anticipation.
You know, my grandfather when I was younger, he used to do different hugs. And what I mean by that is he'd pick me up and he'd go a bounce hug, spin hug, and then he'd tip me over and he'd go shake him out, and then he'd do it again and be like bounce hug.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
It was a lot of fun. Yeah, he could pick me up.
You know, that's a sacred job, really, being an uncle.
Why?
Because you're just cool. Like, you don't have the responsibility of being a parent, the weight of being a grandparent. You're just that either the goofy fun person or the creepy guy that you don't
My
invite
uncles
to
never
dinner.
did that though.
No?
No, I don't know why you brought that up, because none of us were talking about uncles.
No, but I was just started thinking about uncles. I don't know. You know, my train of thought doesn't always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the next track is awesome.
I'm going to take a stab at this.
All right, good luck.
Apothopathodiopholotophobia.
Close enough.
Which, aside from being, what did we discover it was?
A fear of constipation.
An exaggerated fear of constipation.
I don't know if it was exaggerated, but it was definitely a fear of constipation.
It happens to be the 5th longest word in French. The longest word in French, and I'm going to try this one. Hippopotamonstros equipedipiliophobia, which sounds like it's about a monstrous hippopotamus, but is actually the fear of long words. The French are interesting people.
Yep.
So, let's put aside our fear of diarrhea and experience some fear of constipation. For a song titled after the 5th longest word in French, that was pretty short.
Yeah. Say, Chris, do you know what abophobia is?
Abophobia?
Yeah.
The fear of Abe Vigoda?
No. It's the fear of palindromes. You know what palindromes are?
Yeah. So, Rise to Vote, Sir. That's from The Simpsons. Every time I hear palindrome, I think of that. Little Lisa.
Yeah. Race car. Do mom and dad count it? No, they don't.
Radar.
You know what I was okay? We're talking about words, so I'm just gonna roll with it for a minute. What's the name of the thing when you have like an acronym and people like ATM machine? There's a name for people doing that.
I feel like we discussed this on a previous episode.
I think we did, but I was thinking about it the other day because I had to do work with an ATM, and somebody was like, "Oh, you have to go like open the ATM machine," and I'm like,
No.
"The automatic teller machine, automated teller machine." Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways,
You should say it's the AT machine.
Side note, then we can get back on track. Did you see the thing I sent you on Facebook Messenger about them making Thomas into an AT-AT?
Yeah, that was odd.
Yeah, so for those of you that don't know, there's a new toy out that basically you put the Thomas the Tank Engine train onto a pair of legs and it walks like an AT-AT from Star Wars.
Like why?
Or no, AT-ST. No, it's an AT-AT. I'm sorry.
Yeah, if it's four-legged, it's AT.
I thought it was two-legged in my mind, and then I realized it was a four-legged.
AT. I remember, it's funny because the internet today is nothing but idiots arguing with each other. But I remember playground arguments, heated arguments over whether it was print AT-AT or AT.
No.
I was of the AT-AT school, but some of my friends were AT.
It's let's finish up.
It's an all-terrain armored transport, motherfucker. All right. What's the next song?
The next track is "Fuck You."
Really?
Yes.
Va te fotre? Fotre?
Yeah, it's "Fuck You."
Foutre.
I Google translated it. It's "Fuck You."
Nice. I'm guessing this is going to be a slow melodic song.
I don't know. "Fuck You."
Okay, I can catch a fuck you vibe.
Yeah. Short, sweet, to the point, just like the word.
Right.
Although I wouldn't. So anyway, our next
As we just sit and stare at it was.
our next track on here is Robert.
Robert.
Which translates to Bob.
Robert. That translates to Bob. How do you get Bob? Actually, no, I wish I remembered where
know.
I read about why you get Bob out of Robert. There's a reason for it.
Robert turns to Rob. Rob rhymes with Bob.
That's just stupid.
But that's exactly why.
I know, but that whole thing.
It's like Dick. How does Richard come from Dick?
'Cause of
Richard, Rick, Dick.
No.
Yes, it's exactly.
People-
It's stupid and as simple as it sounds. Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Just need to stop. That's like that's an English thing, a British thing.
Yeah. History of Swear Words, by the way. Good series.
Oh, hell yes. That's some of Nicolas Cage's best.
I have to
work
say, when they did the F word, and it's Nicolas Cage goes, "What's the origin of the word fuck?" And the way he says it, it's just like this like weird moan. Fuck.
Love Nick Cage. All right, so Bobbert. Now, there was nothing soft or subtle about that song, but I was getting that, like, tickle in the back of my neck, like the ASMR.
There was a lot of... That creeped us both out, because we didn't know if one of us was breathing or if it was the song.
Right? It was the
What I liked about it is it was pretty laid back. Like, it just had a normal 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, with all this crazy shit going on. Like, how do you even explain that?
Yeah, it's funny. So I'm looking at I'm on the wiki page, and under additional musicians. So we've got vocals, soprano, drums, harpsichord, bass, guitar, accordion, sitar, additional drums, surf guitar, classical guitar, saxophone, piano, accordion, mandolin, Balkan vocals, percussion, 8-bit sounds, and chicken.
Is it a groovy chicken?
It's a groovy. So the last song on the album?
I just had a flashback to when we had Greg Proops on the show, and he just responded to our email, groovy chickens.
Groovy chickens.
No, like, hey, that would be cool. It's just groovy chickens.
Yeah, and we rolled with it, and he came on.
And we had him on, and we asked him about Star Wars, and he was, I have no idea. I did this on the other side of the world. Anyway.
The last song on the album has got a very fitting title track. Goodbye. Au revoir. So that was a musical journey.
Journey's too nice of a word. This was a musical ordeal. But much like our actual ordeal, we got through it.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I dug this. When John first recommended this to me, it took me a while to listen to it. And then I listened to it once, and I was like, what? And then I listened to it several other times. I'm like, I dig it. It's not something I put in regular rotation, but...
No, maybe moderate rotation.
Yeah, it's challenging. It's definitely like mood specific. Like
yeah. Like an angry or, I don't know, just a more aggressive vibe in general.
Yeah, I find music very cathartic. This is good to like.
I always struggle with that word.
Work out some cathartic.
Yeah.
Here's how to look at cathartic. It's a mental shit.
Okay, fair enough.
You get that stuff out of you. You flush it.
Nice. I'm glad we did this. This was, yeah. Well, because we had a bit of a schedule change, Chris, what's up for next week?
So next week, we are taking a dive into the proto-grunge scene.
Proto.
We're going to be listening to Green River's song... we're going to listen to the whole album, Dry as a Bone. Green River, for those that don't know, as Mark Arm from Mudhoney is the lead singer, and Jeff Ament and Stone Gossard, who would end up becoming an integral part of Pearl Jam. And this album was, I'll fact check it when we listen to it, but I think it's like 86. So, a good 4 years before the grunge scene started really taking off.
We talked about this before, but weren't we going to listen to the, what's the name of the band? It was just Kurt Cobain and some other guy.
We did talk about this.
Yeah. You talk about that a little more while I look this up for a minute, because I'm going to have a complete meltdown if you can't think of it.
Yeah, I thought this would be a fun album to listen to, because we've listened to some of the bands you have brought to the table are influenced by
Very
grunge.
much so, especially lately.
And, we know the grunge scene, the big influence for those bands was heavy metal.
Right.
So to take a look at a band from the scene that predated grunge, when these acts were first starting up, their first efforts, is be sort of interesting to listen to.
Fecal Matter. We're going to listen to Fecal Matter at some point.
Cool.
All right. Well, I don't know what else to say about this, so I'm not going to. Okay, hold on. I need to rant, and this is the best place to do this. Somebody put on the Kurt Cobain Wikipedia, soon he was trying to play Led Zeppelin's power ballad, Stairway to Heaven.
Power ballad?
Thank you. I'm glad you reacted the same way.
Fucking millennials.
Power ballad is like...
any Bon Jovi song.
But a ballad. Like I was going to say like High Enough by Damn Yankees is probably a prime example of that. Okay. Anyways.
Well,
Yeah, we need to wrap up this episode.
yeah, check out esotericofthepodcast.com.
Yeah. There's stuff there. Yeah, go literally any of the tabs have things worth looking at. We've done a lot of stuff on this show, and if you haven't checked us out before, go check us out there. Go to our new Reddit. It's not new. I mean, it's been around pretty much since we've had the show, but
yeah.
We're trying to utilize it more. So if you have suggestions, head over to Reddit or just email us.
Absolutely. We're always looking for new stuff.
Or DM us or whatever. Get in touch. Most of you guys just know us. So just text us, call.
Yeah, when we did our Famous Folk series back at the height of the pandemic, part of the genesis behind that was asking famous people what their favorite obscure album was. We ended up just going with whatever their favorite album was because, you're just trying to talk to a celebrity at that point.
Yeah.
But I am, we are genuinely curious about, those albums that people like to listen to that nobody else knows. And
music is a very personal experience. And especially with a lot of the bands that I brought to the table the past couple weeks, these are bands that I listen to, and either nobody else likes, and when I bring it to the table, they're like, "Oh, this is cool." Mm-hmm. Wait, no, that wouldn't make sense. They've never heard of, I should say. They haven't liked, not that they haven't liked.
Yeah.
So it's a personal experience, and think about something that means a lot to you, that you communicate your best through. You want other people to hear it and react.
Yeah, that's what we're all about.
That's why I like doing the show, because then Chris listens to it and he goes, "Okay, I don't care." I'm like, that was my entire high school. So fuck off.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's been a number of albums that I've intensely related to what they're talking about too. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I enjoy that. So, continue to check us out. Tune in next week for our next episode. And until then,
Stay esoteric.
betcha.